Hey guys, and welcome back to Fleetyards. I'm Captain Foley.
And I'm Commander Cockins, and we're looking at some technology today.
That's right. Technology from the Orville, specifically. And this is actually a pretty cool piece of tech. This is their combination communicator tricorder device, which is nice.
In episode 4, we got some superb close-ups. I wanted to actually show this off in this episode. So first of all, it is both a communicator and tricorder. Nice. Do you like that? How does it compare? So we're going to be comparing it to Star Trek tech, obviously, because that's its. This is the semi-spoof of Star Trek. So what do you think? Because it was originally not both. We didn't notice, and then suddenly we saw dual purpose in a later episode. So what did you think of it overall?
Yeah, I first noticed that it was dual in the last episode. I thought that's a fantastic idea. I mean, that's what our smartphones are today, right? They're communication and information gathering. So why not combine the two? That's one thing that I really like about Orville is the fact that they make it so similar to Star Trek and yet so uniquely its own thing, which is really nice. So
now, just compare it directly to TNG, which has a dedicated tricorder and then dedicated communicator. What is more advanced, both in one machine, or your insignia, which is the most day-to-day basic thing, being communication, and then a dedicated? What's more advanced? What's more efficient?
I gotta say, I think the communicator on you at all times is more efficient because you're not necessarily going to have the tricorder with you at all times. Now, going to TOS, of course, they didn't have the communicator with them at all times either, which drove story points because you didn't have your communicator. Although they do that in TNG as well. They just take off their badge. A lot of aliens might not necessarily notice that as being technology and leave it on, which happened occasionally.
Yeah.
It was nice to see that, but overall, I think having it on your costume is probably the best thing for communications. So it'd be cool to have like a little wristband that could be a communicator. And
they do have. I mean, she does touch her wrist, so there is wrist communicators as well. I'm guessing these are just the long range all-in-ones.
Yeah,
because when the doctor's in sick bay, she doesn't pull out a communicator. She just talks to her, which is very subtle. They really need to focus on that a bit more to try and set that up. It's been hard to notice, but I can imagine that's for intership. Because I mean, if you look at these guys, they're going to spend 85% of their time,
probably more on ship. Yeah.
So I mean, the communicators are the bonus. So if you think about it that way, it's mostly a communicator, a tricorder with the added ability to communicate over miles and miles, as opposed to the other ones which are designed to be interwoven, and then it's just costume based.
And perhaps they tie into the ship system, so you can't use them unless you're on the ship. So,
it's from this view, and we'll just look at the communicator variant. He holds it very much like the Galaxy Quest one is what I think of, or if you're a Stargate fan, Ronnie McKay's ancient shield device. Hold it sort of like that, just a little. How you hold it, and then sorry about the graphicness of the shot. So the second shot is a bit more graphic.
Yeah,
that's the communicator way around. Then we cut to the third view. And this was I liked in this episode. You specifically saw all three characters go, broop, broop, broop. The thing just ups and it's like, hey, we're in scan mode. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I kind of like the fact that once it pops up, it glows because it shows you some kind of thing going on. I mean, the TNG tricorders had the little pulsing light and stuff, which was a step up from Spock's tricorder, which never showed anything on its screen, even though the screen was always facing the audience, which really bugged me. And they needed to change that for the remastered, in my opinion. But so if you're sneaking up on an encampment on somebody at night and you got your tricorder out, these guys, you're going to see these glowing lights in the field. I mean,
well, you say that, but cut to picture 5, and Isaac is out in broad daylight, you scanning, and there is no light. So there is the option in day and night to not actually have that.
Okay, I'll buy that.
I mean, you need to be able to see the thing. But also, you mentioned frosted glass. If you skip to picture 9, you can see the reverse shot of Isaac. You can see that he is looking at a thing, nice, well lit. But then if you go back to, as I said, shot 5, you can't see it, so it's frosted. So I mean, it's being lit on one side only.
Well, yeah, and you can see that as well in picture 8. You can see that you can see through it from the front. But from the back, it is frosted, much like the monitor on Ed Mercer's desk, which I really like. I love the transparent screens. I've always liked that trope in sci-fi, but at the same time, I hate it because I don't want people to see what I'm looking at. If I'm holding a device, I don't want them seeing whatever I'm looking at. So I like the fact that the back would be frosted, but we could still see through it from the front. That's just neat. I like that. So
yeah, and I'm sure if it's that advanced, I mean, obviously that was a hologram in Ed's desk, Ed's computer sense, but if that was such that it could become completely transparent, then you hold over something and you see a HUD display in it, you know,
Yeah.
you scan with it, which would be interesting to see. But if you go to picture 6, so the doctor's holding it, seems to be all purpose, so there is other scanning medical tools that we see later on and earlier on even, but this is also good for just general scanning. So she has it in the standard configuration, and then she plops up, and all the lights turn on. So in the and the non-standard configuration is just static. And it's just a prop thing, but it's nice that, you know, she actually had to do that, and it did something. And that's not a CG effect, I don't think, of something being on that plexiglass. So I think that's like one of the standard things. And what do you think about I mean, we haven't talked about the design, and there are good close-ups later, but this is a good clear shot. What do you think about the actual design of it?
It seems kind of muddied. I mean, the keypad, there's a keypad element at the bottom, which I don't know if you can use that as like for texting. I don't know. It doesn't seem like very user friendly. It seems very small buttons and very odd. I mean, of course, we don't know how it works. We don't know how it's configured. It could probably be reconfigured for multiple purposes on the fly. I don't know, but it's not as user friendly as a tricorder by the looks of it.
And if you go to picture 8, it's another good close up. She's using it in that form. It's certainly reminiscent of the Enterprise tricorder.
What, the one that Paul has?
No, that's the other one, the human one, where the thing pops up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it has that certain vibe. But also it looks like a TOS communicator. It's interesting in between step. And if we go to picture 9.5, and you made sure to have me put these back in because I didn't remember them. This is it in all of its glory. Nice, clean. You can see it. So yeah, it's got a... Well, it looks like a phone to me. It has that vibe.
And it has still has a TOS tie-in of like the Moyer thing with the round circle at the top, which is nice. So
that's very nice. Now I'm wondering, do you think when the top black screen piece comes in, do you think those two side black shapes, you click those in and it goes up? That's the activation, because then it'd be a simple it's up.
Could be, yeah. I don't know. Don't see why not.
Obviously hugely functional as part of it. Yeah, it certainly feels very advanced. I would have assumed that middle bit could change into something else, just like our phones can do, landscape to portrait, that you could then move it and then the whole thing becomes a screen. Because it's certainly bigger. I mean, that's a really terribly small screen to show the Orville. I was thinking, wow, he's showing these things in 440p. Please bring it this close so you see it. I mean, my screen on my phone is infinitely bigger than that as a showing information. It just looks quaint. But
quaint, good word.
Yeah, but I like the fact it's got a keypad and it's got like a menu button and
yeah.
It
It does very, very much resemble a cell phone with that close up. Wow. Yeah, I never really. Anyway, I like them. I like the 2-in-1 design. I like the overall appearance of them. It's nice and clean and very nice. Very nice. I can't wait to see more uses for them. I wonder if when the screen pops up, if you hold it over somebody, the medical version, you can use it as an X-ray and see inside.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's end on 9.8 because it's another great view. Again, Seth's face just screaming good things there. His little Dax makeup. Almost Dax. Yeah. It's a clearly inspired and yet uniquely shaped and yet very simple and yet advanced. Although, they should probably go that one step further and have the middle screen be more whatevering. You want as much information as possible to be displayed, especially if it's the medical communicator, medical tricorder as well. And that screen's not very big for what it could be, the top one especially. But functionally it's cool, and I like they have a dedicated prop that's neat and, fits the bill. Yeah,
absolutely. So I guess that's probably it for a look at the Tricorder communicator. Have they mentioned what this is called in the show? Scanner? I don't know.
Communication detector.
Cool. Well,
Tritator or Communicorder.
Communicorder. I like that one. That's good. There we go. The Orville whatever you just said.
Communicorder.
Communicator, that's the one. What do you guys think of this thing? Is it a cool design? What changes would you make to it? What do you want to see? You're excited to see more of it? Because I know I am. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential with it.
Yeah. Put your comments down below, and we do read them, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. So.
And I guess, all the cosplayers out there and such, are you going to get a uniform, and do you want one of these? Is it enough of a sell?
I want one, so I'm not even a cosplayer. I can't wait to see them for sale at conventions. I'm sure they'll be very soon. So anyway, as always, if you want to help us out, you can do so by heading on over to Patreon. Click the Patreon link in the description below, and it'll take you over there. You can help us on a monthly basis that way, or head on over to Trekyards.com and click the donate button for a one-time donation, and that also really helps us out. So we appreciate it.
And of course, just subscribe, share, talk about us, talk about the Orville, promote. I mean, it's a great show, and you should all watch it. And look at our spoiler-free review if you haven't got Fox, and if you really want to know what we think. And we try and break down all the little things, all the big things, and stop story things, and even how to improve certain scenes. Look at spoiler-filled reviews, because they're a lot of fun to make, and you get to experience the episode once again through our eyes. And it's fun to see how many times we share the same, what we've noticed, what we think, but also the things we don't ever see that we each uniquely is like, oh, that's a thing, and that's yeah, we compliment each other with the review, I think. So
yeah, absolutely. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. If so, please check them out. Until next time, guys.
Yes.
I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Coons.
Bye.